All right, we are here with our power panel. First, actually, let me introduce them first. Eleanor Clift is, of course, with us, contributing editor for Newsweek. Great to have her back. Mark Blumenthal is a senior polling editor for the Huffington Post and the founding editor of Pollster.com. Great to have both of you here. So, first topic is on Afghanistan. Should President Obama have apologized for the accidental burnings of the Quran that happened, apparently, on our base? So, 11 people have been killed in rioting since then, 19 injured, and now we find out there are 2 dead U.S. service members because of all the violence surrounding this. President Obama said, quote, "I convey my deep sympathies and ask you and the people to accept my deep apologies." Eleanor, let me start with you. I actually think he should not have done that. I think that it was an accident. I think that for the president to go that far, I thought it was unnecessary. What's your thoughts?
May have been an accident, but it still offended people. And we're not talking about offending, people who we don't like. We're talking about offending people we're allied with and who are fighting alongside of our soldiers in Afghanistan. And I think the president did the right thing. It would be ridiculous for him to withhold an apology when clearly it may have been an accident, but it's deeply offensive to people who practice the Muslim religion. And I think if we're going to accept that in this country, that we offend people with the Catholic Church, if we have birth control as a requirement, that was talked about and accepted here just a few days ago.
Right.
I think we have to accept this as well.
Right. Eleanor, I don't think he's apologizing to our enemies. So don't get me wrong. I'm not going with the crazy Republican line here. They're supposed to be our allies. But they got a funny way of showing their friendship to us. And here's one thing they should, Mark, I think they should apologize for: killing 2 U.S. service members, which, in my opinion, is a million times worse than burning a couple of pages of whatever book.
Well, sure, but I cover politics, so I'm not going to tell the President of the United States how to handle foreign policy, but, one thing is not necessarily connected to the other. And we were just arguing 24 hours ago about a supposed imaginary war on religion in the United States. If there's an act that's offensive that we did by accident, he's the commander-in-chief. Why not apologize?
Yeah, I hate it. Look, no, because in Guantanamo Bay, when they flushed the Quran in the toilet, they did that on purpose, and it was ridiculous, and it was offensive to all Muslims, and it was not the right way to go. You apologize for that because that was wrong and it was intentional. When it was an accident and then they're killing our guys, hell no. I don't, look, my thing is, I don't mind the culture wars. I want to fight fundamentalists, whether they're Christians or they're Muslims. I don't care. So I wouldn't have done it, but the president, of course, is more diplomatic than I am in 18 different ways. So I do want to do a different topic here as well, and that's this theory that people have, guys, that Rick Santorum and Ron Paul are BFF, that they're apparently what the kids call besties these days. So, Mark, let me start with you on that. Is there any validity to this theory that they're ganging up on Rick Santorum and they're in cahoots?
Well, there's no doubt that that Ron Paul's going out of his way to be kind to Mitt Romney. He doesn't attack him in debates. He's spent his super PAC and his campaign have spent millions of dollars on ads attacking whichever conservative alternative to Romney is doing best at the moment. And he sure was helpful to him in that debate last night.
Yeah, what's going on, Eleanor? I mean, yeah, he's tough on Santorum. And that's what he does. I get it. He was tough on Gingrich. But why isn't he tough on Romney? What's the deal here?
Because I think he figured out that Romney is the likely nominee. And Ron Paul wants a role at the convention, and he knows Romney needs him because Ron Paul appeals to young people. So I think this is a marriage that's made in mutual self-interest. And you can almost see Romney winking at him. It's kind of obscene. But Ron Paul, the way he goes after Santorum, that was pretty blatant, saying, an ad saying he's fake and then indicating he is fake. And I must say, poor Rick Santorum extends his arm. I am real. Touch my arm, I'm real. Yeah. It was quite a sad moment, I thought.
Real quick here. I think the convention speech is not that big a deal. I might be wrong. Is there any chance that he's actually trying to parlay this into a VP role on Romney's? Not for Ron Paul, but for Rand Paul.
Well, Rand Paul just the other day said he'd be honored to be Mitt Romney's vice president.
Oh, I didn't know that.
His spokesman followed up and said, well, he was just answering a question. This was not meant to send a signal or anything, but it's awfully convenient.
All right, Eleanor, last word. Yes?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got Rand Paul's future in mind, but I can't imagine Rand Paul would be the vice presidential candidate. We'd be back with the sitting Buddha business and all of that, and Rand Paul is really a novice. He does not have the skills of his father. Maybe he can develop them, and I think Rand Paul sees a great future for his son, and that's part of it. But he wants a speech. He wants a prime time speech. That's big in this world of politics.
Okay, all right, interesting. God, that was a great conversation. Thank you, Eleanor and Mark. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, when we come back, it amazing.